What if one of the most famous men in America was accused of murder? Not just any murder, a brutal double murder, and after months of evidence, witnesses, and a trial watched by millions, he walked free. On October 3rd, 1995, the entire country stopped. People gathered around televisions. Schools paused classes. Offices went silent. Then the verdict came, not guilty, and America exploded with shock. Some celebrated, others were furious. But how did a former football superstar end up at the center of the most famous murder trial in modern history? And why do people still argue about it decades later? Stay with us, because this case only gets stranger from here. Come back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most controversial criminal cases ever, the O.J. Simpson murder trial. A story filled with fame, violence, mystery, and a verdict that divided an entire nation. Let's begin. Before the trial, before the accusations, O.J. Simpson was a superstar. His full name was Orenthal James Simpson. Most people simply called him O.J. He was one of the greatest football players of his generation. Fast, powerful, charismatic. Fans loved him. After football, his fame grew even bigger. He appeared in movies, television shows, commercials. He became a household name. To millions of Americans, O.J. Simpson wasn't just an athlete. He was a celebrity, a success story, someone who seemed to have it all. But behind the spotlight, problems were growing. B-roll, photos of O.J. and Nicole Brown Simpson. His marriage to Nicole Brown Simpson was troubled. Reports of domestic violence surfaced over the years. Police were called multiple times, yet few people realized how tragic this story would become. Because on one summer night in 1994, everything changed. On June 12, 1994, a horrifying discovery was made outside Nicole Brown Simpson's home in Los Angeles. Nicole was found dead, so was her friend, Ronald Goldman. The scene was brutal. Investigators quickly realized this was no accident. It was murder. Searched for answers, attention quickly turned toward one person, O.J. Simpson, the ex-husband, the celebrity, the national icon. Evidence began piling up. Blood evidence, a glove, footprints, witness statements. Soon, police believed they had their suspect. And then, something happened that nobody expected. Something that turned this murder investigation into a global spectacle. But wait, it gets worse. Police planned for O.J. Simpson to surrender. Instead, he disappeared. On June 17, 1994, America watched live television in disbelief. A white Ford Bronco was driving down a California highway. Inside sat O.J. Simpson. Beasts followed behind. Helicopters filled the sky. Millions watched the chase unfold in real time. People gathered around televisions. Restaurants stopped normal programming. Even major sporting events were interrupted. It felt unreal, like a movie, except it was happening live. Pause. Authorities eventually convinced Simpson to surrender peacefully. The chase ended. But the real drama was only beginning, because now came the trial. A trial that would become known as the trial of the century. The trial began in January 1995, and almost immediately, it became a media sensation. Every day, cameras followed every development. Millions watched, millions debated, millions chose sides. Prosecution argued that O.J. Simpson committed the murders. They presented physical evidence, DNA evidence, blood evidence, and items found near the crime scene. The defense fought back aggressively. They challenged the police investigation. They questioned how evidence was collected. They argued that mistakes had been made. One of the most important moments involved a glove. Investigators believed a glove found at the crime scene belonged to Simpson. In court, prosecutors asked him to try it on. The entire nation watched. The glove appeared too small, or at least that's how it looked to many viewers. Then came one of the most famous lines in legal history. Defense attorney Johnny Cochran told jurors, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." Pause. The phrase spread everywhere. Television, newspapers, conversations across America. But the defense wasn't finished. They also attacked the credibility of key investigators, particularly Detective Mark Fuhrman. Questions about racism within the police department became a major issue. Suddenly, the trial wasn't just about murder. It became a debate about race, trust, police conduct, and the justice system itself. Every day brought new twists, new arguments, new controversies. People became obsessed. Families argued about it. Friends disagreed. America seemed divided into two camps. And then, after months of testimony, the jury reached a decision. But wait, what happened next shocked the entire country. October 3rd, 1995. The day finally arrived. The courtroom was silent. The world was watching. The jury entered. The verdict was read. Not guilty. Just 4 words. Yet those 4 words changed history. Some people cheered. Others cried. Many were stunned. Polls later showed that reactions often differed sharply across racial lines. The verdict became one of the most discussed moments in American history. Many believed justice had been served. Many believed justice had failed. And the debate continues even today. Comment below what you think. Did the jury make the right decision, or did they get it wrong? Although Simpson was found not guilty in criminal court, the story wasn't over, not even close. In 1997, a civil trial reached a different conclusion. A jury found Simpson responsible for the deaths of Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. He was ordered to pay millions of dollars in damages to the victims' families. The controversy never disappeared. Books were written, documentaries were released, television series explored every detail. New generations discovered the case, and the same question kept returning: what really happened that night? Even decades later, people still debate the evidence, the witnesses, the investigation, and the verdict. Comment below what you think happened. Do you believe O.J. Simpson was innocent or guilty? One thing is certain: the trial transformed American media forever. It changed how courts were covered, how celebrities were viewed, and how millions of people thought about justice. The impact is still felt today. But there's one final twist. For many Americans, the trial was never really about one man. It became a symbol of deeper divisions within society. And that's why the story remains unforgettable. The O.J. Simpson trial was more than a criminal case. It was a cultural earthquake, a courtroom battle that captured the attention of the entire world, and a mystery that people still argue about decades later. What do you think? Was justice served, or was a killer set free? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most famous trials, hit the like button, subscribe for more true crime and courtroom stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new case. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Music fades out.